Calling you a radical, talk about March Madness. So, son of Cassandra has done it again. Kevin Blanch. Now, who can do this? When the stock is at $10.14 36 hours ago, I'm like, buy all the puts you can get. Unload. Get them. Get them all you can get. It's at $4.90 right now. You know what kind of score that is? Anybody that you did it, I hope you did it. I accept tips. Why don't I do it? Well, I used to. That's what I did for a living. I was a derivative arb guy. I was a famous trader in the day. Really famous trader. And, the Wall Street firm that I worked for, we hedge portfolios, whatever. My boss says, I've never seen anything like you. You're fucking unbelievable. I says, what do you mean? I says, don't you know I can see the future? Which I always have been able to. But the problem is, no one will believe me. Who's Cassandra? So, everybody who's playing with these fucking dirty, rotten, filthy, thieving, it's like, oh, Bill Gates is going to build a fucking plant in Wyoming. No, he's just begging for money, getting more. It's never enough for these freaks. There are no SMRs. They don't exist. You're all in on a fucking fairy tale fake technology. That's called opportunity cost, taking it away from real solutions. The sun, wind and solar. You think about the opportunity cost that has been stolen by NUSCALE. NUSCALE ripped us off in Utah. And we have a corrupt government here. The Reyes connection, I asked Sean Reyes, are you related to Jose Reyes, the Attorney General? Why would Utah be the only one? Only one person fought him? I'm in the Utah State Legislature. I catch him lobbying why it's in session, which is against the law. I caught him doing bribes. I caught him with the original funny Kenwood Financial. It was a fraud. It's a Ponzi scheme. This is a fucking nuclear Ponzi scheme. It's the greatest pump and dump I ever fucking saw in my life. I saw this thing pump up from fucking $2. It crashes it IPOs at 10. He's ringing the bell. They have no product. They have no revenue. They have nothing. The Utah, finally, after they fucking rip us off, if you pay a power bill, they ripped you the fuck off. Where's the SEC? Where's the state attorney general's office? I asked Sean at the Bear Mountain in Idaho. Oh, I'm not related to this guy. Okay. They're ripping us off. Not ripping us off. They ripped us off for hundreds of $millions. Fucking Reyes, Hopkins, Colbert unloaded all their stock. And they knew. You know how many fucking shareholder lawsuits against you? And you're buying this thing? Oh, it's a momentum trade. What is the matter with you fuckers? And I want to tell everybody, because that's what I did for a living for all those years. It's very typical for us who live fast and hard like that, which I did. Oh, my boy, did I. I never got on the drugs like a lot of them did. Never. When I was a Wall Street guy, I didn't even drink in those days. When I was young, I drank a lot of beer. But anyway, I lived pretty fast, though. And talk about gambling. Oh, my God. You're gambling with your own lives, buddy. So it's hard and it's fast. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I look back on it. I loved it. But what happened? As you know, even on the shoe type side, that's what I was doing clear up to 2011. What happened? Freight train hit me called fucking leukemia out of nowhere. Remember, play back the tape in 2011. Play back the tape. I'm like, get out of this fucking whole silver fucking thing. Short silver. I was one of the legendary fucking short sellers, but I used puts. I used derivatives in the history of fucking Wall Street. I was so deadly, it was unbelievable. Play back the tape right here. Go all in Apple and go in Tesla. I had 30,000 shares of Tesla when it IPO. Play back the tape. I'm doing it. They're playing my finance videos at Berkeley in their classrooms. That kid called me. He says, God, I had to twist my grandpa's arm to sell a silver and gold and buy Tesla, but you changed our lives. I said, you could send me a little bit of money. What happened to me? I had over $1 million in the stock market, that I had made out of fucking nothing. I hit mine that bird in 2009 and the Derby. I played both the birds. I hit the superfecta, I hit the trifecta on about $300-400 worth of bets for well over $100,000. I took that fucking money and I put it in the stock market. I put about 50,000-60,000 of it in the stock market back in, because I, like a lot of Wall Streeters, I got divorced. Some things had happened, some death. My mate had died of leukemia, and I said, fuck it. I ain't doing it no more, and I walked away. So I was betting horses. I hit mine that bird that year, 50 to 1. hit the superfecta, hit the try, hit the fuck, you name it, up, down, right file. Fucking took that money and I parlayed that fucking money in the options market right here on YouTube. Of course, people ain't gonna watch me. They can't handle the truth. They don't want the fucking truth. They're caught up in some political spin dogma. Fucking uranium renaissance nuclear. And there is no fucking. They're shutting down nuclear reactors all over the world, but you're so fucking gone. You believe fucking. I mean, zig when they zag was my line. I used to have that sign in my office. I zig when they zag. When the contemporary sheep are going all in something, you go the opposite, and you will win every fucking time. You know, because it's propaganda hype, just like silver and gold in 2011. I'm like, it's time. Fuck. When I rode the bus one day because my car broke down, this bus driver was telling me this really psycho chick that I knew. She said, I'm married to her sister. She's telling us we got to go in. I said, silver's a fucking near $50. Got to go silver, got to do that. Yeah. I says, what the fuck she know about the markets? When people are chirping that kind of shit, run for the fucking hills. I went in and in the triple leverage fucking derivatives market, I shorted the fuck out of silver. Right at the top. So I had turned that money into well over $1 million. And remember, right here, I'm like, go all in Apple. All in Apple. You know, I'm the anti-nuclear activist. I was raising money for my foundation. Go all in fucking Tesla. You know, that's before I realized what a scumbag. Remember, I taught the derivative finance and trading class at Weber State University all through the 90s when we were the #1 school of business. We were the #1 school. I was the guy there. I taught the derivative office. I taught this. I mean, every student I had ended up being legendary freaking finance freaking people or huge firms. But here's the thing. I got leukemia. I got hit by a freight train that year. Boom. I was uninsured. This university could have paid for it. They didn't, this university. The nuclear cartel university. The Wattis curse. And so I want people to know this. I was so famous as a trader in those days, whatever, but, you know, it's lonely at the top. People try to kick you over. But now the six up, they will fucking go after you. They went after me. They fucking so hard. Tried to fuck them. I don't care. You're just like they did have on YouTube. I want you to know something. I got AML leukemia, which is typical. So there's a famous hedge fund who managed the Harvard endowment. He's really, really famous. He beat the market every single year. He did the exact strategy I did. I knew him. He would buy puts on high dividend yield stocks. It's a no fucking brainer and roll the puts. It's not that hard. And you see, he died of the same disease I have just a few years ago. He wasn't very old. It's very fucking common for traders and people like us to die young. I knew that. Well, they get caught up in a lot of shit. I mean, you think the NBA has groupies, you should see the fucking females that hang around those type of guys in those days. Oh my God. Whoa. Fuck, way past dangerous. Make your head spin. So, who can do this? So, I screamed to you guys 36 hours ago. The stock was at 10.14. I'm at buy all the puts you can get. Hammer. Do you know what kind of score you just made? Yeah, the stock's down 60%, 36 hours. This company is corrupt and dirty as fuck. Where's the SEC? This is the greatest pump and fucking nuclear dump I ever saw. I mean, it's so corrupt. Who the fuck pumped that fucking thing? From 2 to fucking 10. And then, I mean, who did that? And if you got burned, you fucking deserve to get burned. You don't do no background, no due diligence on this stock, no product, no revenue. Fucking they got no money. I mean, it fucking sham from all these contracts, and none of them are vested contracts. The only vested contract they had was with they. And let me tell you about the only license they have for SMRs. The only one. You know how that went about? The head of the NRC, yup, you got it. She used to work at Idaho National Lab with the CEO of NUSCALE. Yeah, you think that's a little fucking dirty? You think? It's so corrupt. How come no one's gone after them? Because they're their nuclear energy crime syndicate. Fuck, they're the untouchables, don't you see? Remember when I did this same thing for Chicago Bridge and Iron in 2017? I'm like, listen, they're done. They're going bankrupt. They have an illegal contract with Ariba, the French company. I says, they're going to pull the plug on these guys. It was reported you weren't paying attention. Like a guy in Vegas I know, he says, I bought $3,500 worth of puts on you. He made $400,000 in one day. He sent me 10 grand. It was nice of him. Good for him. But, of course, I guess they quit paying attention to me. Whatever. I did the same thing on GE. Remember when GE went from fucking, oh, look at GE's 100, yeah, after they did an 8-for-1. Jack Welch ran the biggest Ponzi scheme in fucking human history called General Electric. And who pumped it? CNBC. They should have been sued. Joe Kernan! I mean, what a pump and dump fucking, the whole CNBC freaking thing with Jack Welch was, Kramer? Oh, fuck, you want to go bankrupt? Listen to that fucking freak. He's a moron. So he's the worst. So who can do this? And play back the tape. I did it again. So this is important. So you people know this. That's a 1% survival bracelet. The type of cancer I got in 2011 is unsurvivable. I had ML, de novo, leukemia that presents tumors. I was perfectly good, healthy, like a freight train. It's been ugly, ugly 12 years. I don't know how I'm alive. Open heart surgery twice, took out my gallbladder, my teeth. Just fucking nasty. Lived in a bone marrow transplant off and on for years. I had to fork over the entire over $1 million to get in. When I got kicked off Medicaid, I went from being rich to fucking dirt. And I'm a self-made guy. I didn't inherit any money, none. I used to trade cattle futures here in Ogden at 14. I was east of Eden, the good son, bad son. Remember the wild ass son with the good looking girlfriend? That was me. I've always been that way, and so, but I want you to know something. I'm in the 1% survival study. The number one common denominator of 1%ers, I've met a lot of them now. That's people that have survived cancer that's not. There's only 1%. The 1% survivors, people that shouldn't survive, cancers that kill 99-point-something% of people. That's what the 1% study is. I'm in it. The number one common denominator, risk takers. It's crazy enough to think we can beat it. And good with numbers. I'm a fundamentalist. Clyde Cooley, who I was being prepped to take over his program, who died, he used to say in his class, he said, the number one flaw with traders, people in the country, is they're not willing to take enough risk. They're so risk averse that it just stifles their life and whatever. And he says, then there's the very tiny, tiny few, but there's not that many that take too much risk. And he pointed right over at me. But I do have the last letter of recommendation he ever wrote, before he died tragically, in the number one school business at Weber State is under investigation by the FBI. I have peace of mind, so what if I lost fucking, I'm alive, I'll take it. So all you fuckers that are fucking with these nuclear side uranium, there's no uranium renaissance. Fucking 25% of all the nuclear reactors around the country have been closed down since Fukushima. They're all playing you like a fucking fiddle. These fucking companies are pumping that of propaganda. It's a nuclear energy pump and dump. This is the worst one I ever fucking saw. The most corrupt thing I ever saw. And you know how many, you guys that are buying, why don't you dig in and look how many investor lawsuits there are? Dozens and dozens are suing these fucking people. Where's the SEC? This is a fucking sham, just like Gates up there terra firma. Up there, why there's no that'll never happen because they don't exist. I call it the unicorn trade, the Easter bunny trade. Hands up, no nukes. TikTok, Diablo Canyon clock, lessons for Fukushima unlearned. So any people that made a score, that's a fucking score. Who can do that? Stock sod in more than half. It's back to Chicago Bridge and Iron. So in 2017, I'm telling everybody, buy some fucking puts. I didn't have much money, and my heart was failing from the chemo in there. I'm going to doctors. I'm uninsured. Michael Hawkins over at Ogden Regional told me to go see my dentist. That guy, what they did to me. My heart was failing. Just bleeding profusely, blah, blah, blah. People attacking me on the internet, slandering me. I'm dying. I collapsed. Easter. I was born on an Easter. Got to the hospital. I was an old student who I used to teach in that class. He says, oh, God, Dr. Blanche. And I says, what are you talking about? He says, I used to be in your class when you was a student professor. Finance? Yeah, I was in your derivatives class. You're a doctor? Yeah. Thank God he got me in. He says, I'll get you in. We'll get this figured out. My aortic valve was completely collapsed. I had emergency open heart surgery. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Oh, well, how do they figure Easter? I can't believe how many people don't understand. Was the equinoxes last night right now? What's the equinox? Fuck, come on. So the first Sunday, after the first full moon, after the equinox, that's Easter. So Easter could be as early as what? The 23rd of March. As late as April 30th, right? So I was having open heart surgery, and while I was in there having open heart, being attacked by trolls, had my chest split open. I'm doing videos, ripped out. Guy emails me, says, "You seen this? You called it?" I said, "No." And I looked at it, and Chicago Bridge and Iron went from $17, I think, to 6 or 5 in one day. And he made all that score. He did send me some money. In fact, I think he sent me 10,000, then 5,000, and I used it for my activism, which I use everything for my. He put it on my GoFundMe page, and so I do the right thing with what money I have. I don't have any money, but that's okay. I've been fighting for 12 years, and I've tried to help people out. I've tried to be, because this kind of stuff matters. You get suckered into these things, can destroy your fucking life. Like NUSCALE's destroying people's fucking lives. I don't know who pounded that fucking stock over the last few days and knocked that clear up to over $10 a share, but fuck whoever did that. I guess it was corrupt as fuck. I call it the greatest. Well, remember when pump and dump used to be illegal? It still is. Well, where's the SEC? Oh, you mean the Department of Goldman Sachs? It's like Bear Monsanto. Who? The Department of Agriculture, which is Bear Monsanto. I mean, fuck, I remember when this shit was illegal. Fucking these SEC would go after these fucking people. We're the ones that got ripped off. It's a fraud. And so you get, who can do that? The stock gets down 60% in 36 fucking hours. That's a score if you know how to fucking buy, well, even if you shorted it. So I accept tips. Son of Cassandra does it again. Like I used to tell my boss, "What are you talking about?" He's laughed. He knew Greek mythology. He knew who Cassandra was. And he's like, he says, "You used to always tell me I can see the future." No one believes me, which I can. Stand tuned.